There, Calvin Tillman here with you from the Texas State Capitol. Down here talking to Tom Glass. Tom has been active in Texas grassroots politics for many, many years. He's been kind of a mentor and inspiration to me. Got to know him. So why don't you just introduce yourself a little bit, Tom, and tell the folks who you are and just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I've run several groups. I'm a retired guy, and my hobby is trying to save my state in my country to make sure my grandbabies grow up in a free country. And I figure the best way I can do it is at the Texas Capitol. I don't figure I can have much influence over DC at all. So I focus here in the Texas Capitol on issues. I have several groups. One is called Texas Legislative Priorities, which focuses on implementing the priorities of the Republican Party of Texas here at the Capitol. We put out news about what's going on at the Capitol and share things with each other on that group on Facebook.
Great. And now you've run for office a couple of times. You want to tell the folks a little bit about
Yeah, I ran for state rep as a grassroots candidate for the last two cycles, 2022 and 2024. I didn't make it. I was running against a guy backed by very deep pockets in the establishment and didn't make it, but learned a lot, developed a lot of good connections, and who knows what will happen in the future.
Yeah, so you're pretty well known around the state, but how much money were you going up against in that race? Just
they had about 800,000 against my 100,000. Yeah.
And so they have $800,000 to spend on a job that pays $600 a month. so go figure that. So today we're here in the Capitol, and you helped organize a group of us to come down here and just respectfully show our presence to the representatives. Tell us a little bit about what they're doing here today and why that's important.
Okay. The reason I did this through my Texas Legislative Priorities group is that the Republican Party of Texas at its state convention picked as its one of the top 8 priorities the no Democrat chairs. Well, the key to not having Democrat chairs in our process, which we're the only state in the union that where the Republican majority gives power to Democrat chairs. The reason why that's important, I think it's more than just that. For me, the mission really is, and the no Dem chairs is a kind of substitute for the idea of reform. I know a little bit about the history of a speaker's race. I've read a great book by Kent Grusendorf called Who Rules the House, and he underlines rules because he talks about the rules and how they've changed. He was a Republican legislator for 20 years. And the history that he knows is that historically the speaker served the members and was essentially running the meeting and let them make the motions and do things and didn't exercise a lot of power. And up until the last 50 years or so, we never had a long tenured speaker. They would serve one term and then keep on going. And that makes sure that we didn't have one person get a lot of power. Well, in the late 20th century, we started getting to the deal where people would have multiple terms, and more they changed the rules of the Texas House so that if the speaker wanted something, the speaker was going to get it. And so the way Grusendorf said it in his book is, we changed from a place where the speaker served the members to where the members serve the speaker. When you think about that, really, there's two other groups outside of that relationship. With the member, if the speaker is serving the members are serving their constituents, we the people. And essentially, when you know the realities of the way it works today, the speaker today is controlled by the people that give big bucks to his campaign. What I call the swamp, or you call it the cronies, whatever you want to call it, the special interests. But essentially, we have now got a system that has turned representative democracy on upside down. And we've made it where we have the big money men running the Texas House. And that's not the way it should be. And what we've got going on right now is a once in a generation opportunity where almost 30% of the incoming Republican fresh people, the delegation, are freshmen that are committed. Most of them, the vast majority, are committed to reform, as well as some of the old guard that also been chafing under this speaker despotism, as you call it. And so they're meeting today here at the Capitol in a process of the Republican caucus that picks their choice for the speaker, and their rules require them to go vote on the floor on January 14th in the real vote for the speaker for that. And of course, if they violate the rules, there's censure and that sort of thing. So whoever captures the nomination, if you will, of the Republican caucus has the strategic high ground or the military high ground in this battle to see whether we're going to have a reform or going to continue on with the status quo where the swamp rules. And so that's why we're here today, is we wanted to influence the people to make sure we get a reform speaker coming out of the caucus. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was roughly between 1 and 200 people here, which was a good crowd. Tell us a little bit about how that was organized and how you got those folks here.
Well, I mean, I have my Texas Legislative Priorities group on Facebook. I have an email list that I've developed over the years. I would love to have people on. You go to tomglass.org, sign up for my emails, you'll get that. I put it up on X, where I've become increasingly active. And I just essentially said, I am a member, by the way, of the Legislative Priorities Committee of the Republican Party of Texas for no Democrat chairs. SREC members lead those committees, but people who are not on the SREC can participate. In fact, are encouraged to participate in these committees if there's skill sets you have to offer. And so I was asked to be on that. And but the way I figure it is, since this was the first step of it, the RPT was not sure whether having a whole bunch of people here urged by them would be a good thing or a bad thing, right? And so I just said, okay, if the RPT is not willing to do that, I mean, they put out a nice resolution last night saying we urge people to commit to the priority of no Dem chairs and to commit to the choice of this caucus. Unanimous SREC vote, wonderful thing on the part of SREC. But I said, I'm not proud. I'll just tell people that I'm going, and if people want to join me, we'll have a good time. And that's what we did. I said, we're going to silently and respectfully. It wasn't exactly silent today because we were cheering on our champions, and we were just holding up our signs for the people that were not committed to reform. But it was a wonderful, wonderful day. It was a perfect size group. It got the message across. We'll see whether even if we win, we don't know whether we'll have had any impact or not, but it was certainly fun. It was fun.
Yeah, no, and I do believe that you did have an impact. You could see even some of the folks who weren't reformers looking around at everybody going, wow, there's a bunch of people here. So great work on that. So if folks want to reach out to you, if they want to get into contact with you, how's the best way for them to do that?
You can go to tomglass.org and get on my email list, and I will update you with bills that are happening at the legislature and action alerts about when it's time to call particular legislators and come to hearings and that sort of thing, if you want to do that. Even if you can't make it Austin, you can call or email people as part of that process. You can join my two Facebook groups, Texas Legislative Priorities, which I've already mentioned, and a bigger group that I have called Texas Constitutional Enforcement, which focuses on pushing back on the federal government and globalists when they mess with Texans. And that's on Facebook. On X, on both platforms, I'm Tom G. Glass. On X, it's just Tom Glass is the name, but that sign is at Tom G. Glass. Love to have you follow me there. I'll follow you back. And we also have a new community we're building for Texas Constitutional Enforcement there as well. That's pinned at the top of my feed. So those are the ways to get connected.
Well, Tom, we appreciate the work that you do here. You're down here probably just about as much as most of these representatives are during the session. We always see you. You're always working. So we appreciate you having the backs of the people here in Texas. So, and I want to thank everybody out there. Again, Calvin Tillman here with Tom Glass at the Texas Capitol, and God bless you and God bless Texas.